It's good because I'm going to be talking about the 1960s, so it just seemed appropriate. So go with me back to Coopersville, say 1963-ish, when the city fathers were hoping to add some family fun to Coopersville in the form of a community pool. My dad was asked, or I'm not sure, maybe he volunteered, to do some research and to present his findings to the Lions Club for starters. Well, our family was going to be out of town on their meeting day, so Dad recorded his message to play at their meeting, and here it is.
Thank you, Russ. And gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. As for being a novelist, I can't really make that claim in the true sense of the word, but only in the novel way I had to use to be here with you today, and also to be with my family on a trip to Detroit to see Cinerama and the Twilight doubleheader at Tiger Stadium. This means of communication no doubt has its good and bad points. For instance, it sure knocks in the head that old saying that can't be two places at the same time. On the other hand, it's a little hard for me to tell when you're getting bored and start sneaking out. However, I do want to check with Mr. Brown when I get back and see how many left early. As was announced at your meeting last week, a survey is being started on a community pool, and the extreme heat this summer has created a tremendous amount of enthusiasm for a pool. As I stated in the article in the paper, the little town in New Jersey did it, so why can't the biggest little town in western Michigan do it? I might add at this point, I'm not being paid by the Chamber of Commerce. I'm doing this and trying to get a pool started because of a very selfish motive. I want my kids, your kids, and all those in the community, as well as all of us post-teenagers, to have recreational facilities they and we can be proud of and want to enjoy, rather than having to chase to the big lake for a dip. Bear with me for a few moments while I draw you a mental picture of what I see in the summers to come. With sufficient backing by everyone, we can have our own pool, wading pool for tots, and play area all fenced in next summer. Then I see shuffleboard courts, horseshoe courts, skating areas, both ice and roller, possibly a miniature golf course, trampolines, well, just no end of inviting things to do for all ages. I have met with the council and asked for a parcel of land on which to locate the pool. Mr. B.J. Lemon gave the village about 6 acres back of the observer tower and about 28 acres over behind the old village dump. My preference is for the spot that is behind the observer tower, and my reasons are these. First of all, it is sand and very easy to dig, and the drainage would be excellent. Second, it is just about as near the center of town as possible, and is very close to the school. Being located close in would be an advantage for closer supervision than if it were located in an outlying spot. For we also have visions within a very short span to have the pool covered and heated for year-round use. And what better activity than swimming classes being added to our school curriculum. I realize the late Dr. Lowndes set up a fund for a future pool at the school. This is very good, but the red tape of getting the whole district to approve of the school board spending money may hold up construction plans indefinitely, because many in the district would not approve of extra taxes for a pool. In the respect of a community pool, we would have a decided advantage, for only those who want a pool will sign up for a membership, and then we can proceed at once. I'm having postcards printed and mailed to approximately 1,300 families in the Coopersville area to get response on the pool and playground area. I had assurance from that other club that meets every other Wednesday night that they would pick up 1/2 the tab for the cost. Your share in this would be greatly appreciated. It will run about $50 per club, if it is your desire to help. Now you may ask what we know about installing a pool. Well, that's a good question. We have an equally good answer. Nothing. And really, one doesn't have to know anything about it. When over one family uses a pool publicly, it comes under state regulations, and the pool contractor must secure the necessary approval before he may install it. Now just a word on the financing. If we can get between 300 and 400 families to sign up, 400 would be better, we would have $40,000. We have plumbers, contractors, men with tractors and dozers in the area who who could do a great amount of work for their share of the membership. Also, fence to be put up, cement forms, landscaping to do which is necessary, and which, if we do ourselves, will save us up to about 25% of the cost of the pool and facilities. Thus, the $40,000 pool will cost us about $30,000, leaving $10,000 plus the monies taken in for those guests paying by the hour to maintain the pool for the coming 5 years. After which time the 400 families would have a $40,000 pool for their own use for a possible fee of $20 to $30 a year or less, depending largely on the paying guests. All this in addition to the prestige of knowing that we are a part of and deserving of the name Coopersville, the biggest little town in western Michigan. Now, Mr. Dale Brown, whom you have already met, will be glad to discuss any other suggestions you have and will do his best to answer any questions you might have. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
The Seaville Swim Club opened on Labor Day 1965. Now they only had 95 members, which was not nearly the number they'd hoped they'd have. So some of those dreams had to be put on hold. But when my dad died in December 1966, he died knowing that he helped lay the foundation for a legacy that still lives on at 365 Pine Street in Coopersville, nearly 60 years later. I'm just really proud of the part that my dad played in feeding those dreams and getting that pool started. So I thank you all for coming.